What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Real Villain with Emmy and
Nicky.
today we're reviewing the last and final
Thank God.
final part of the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. I don't know why they had to do three
It
parts.
was unnecessary.
Really, they could have covered everything in two parts and that would have been great.
Capitalism. I don't know.
I mean, probably because the ads, they probably
They
charged.
have to stretch that out because it was like, bro, like one of these parts was unnecessary.
It really was. I feel like, yeah, it really was. I feel like second part and third, they could have merged some things.
Exactly. Exactly. But listen, we jumped right into this reunion with how it ended last time.
Yeah.
As with Gordon speaking. And Gordon was like, yo, I don't know why he said some of y'all might know this because I didn't know that anybody knew this, but okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm?
Me neither. I didn't know. It was just
Yeah,
like,
I didn't suspect that that's what he was going to say at all. So he says that he has bipolar 1, which is different from regular bipolar, apparently, because he kept saying bipolar 1.
I don't know. I think there's degrees to it. I had no idea that it was. I mean, I knew there were degrees to it. I didn't know they were categorized that way. But yeah,
He said that he was like, yo, if there was bipolar 2, 3, 4, that's what I would have. But so I guess it's pretty intense, and he has, it was sad to hear him speak about it.
Yeah, especially because he went really into the fact that looking back, now we can tell. Okay, I've pretty much had that since I was like a young adult, or maybe
Yeah, he said early 20s and stuff like
20s, and he's like how he was saying that pretty much that's what cost him his marriage, and him not actually not taking care of it, and the fact that he had to check himself into like the hospital. That must be hard to like get to a point where you're like, no, I need to now go and seek help that way because I can't
at
function.
70, like like to know like yo, now you're dealing finally with a mental illness that has been affecting you your whole life, and is probably one of the main reasons why your marriage is kind of failing at the moment. I mean, shout out to Mia because she did seem very emotional there and seemed like she has been supportive of Gordon in this time, and he didn't seem to have any animosity towards her. And even when Andy asked about like how do you feel about her new man and all this, he was like, listen, I know I am the one that kind of pushed her away. And I was like, wow, like this is grown people shit right here.
Listen, it's like I again, bipolar is like different for everybody that has bipolar disorder. Um, but like I've seen it on like two or three people that I know, and it's pretty heavy. And it's not just heavy on like the surrounding people, it's like heavy on them too. And for him to come and say, well, my marriage, like I caused us our marriage. It's yes, in a way he did, but at the same time, it's like it's a disease that he has. It's not like it's not like he was intentionally being, whatever it was doing. It's
right. He wasn't in control of it. Now he's saying that he's learned how to control it, and he's saying that his words, he said he's good now. But Mia did say that she will continue forever to check in on. I mean, and that is the father of her children, and they still are family regardless of divorce. Like you even speak about like how like your parents like they still check in on each other and stuff. Like
say, like my parents haven't been together since I was like maybe one.
Mm-hmm.
They check on each other, like really, because yeah, it's somebody that will share you. Like even though you're not together, you may not live in the same place at all, but like you share kids.
Yeah, you have a connection.
That you actually share the connection with at some point. That so like the respect and the love is always there in a different form. But I feel like so it was beautiful to see. Yeah. It was nice to see Andy acknowledge that as well, like and the other ladies. I think it's nice of her.
I wish them the best. I really wish Gordon the best. I'm very happy to hear that it's going better with his family and he dropped the lawsuit and everything. I was like, okay, all right. Like, I hope that, moving forward that, you're healthy and things work out.
Yeah, for real.
Then they kind of moved on and we talked about Nneka's segment. Nneka's the new girl in town.
Yeah. Yeah, they did talk about that. She had a little moment backstage with her man where he was like telling her like, okay, so I'm gonna try and be bit like, don't let me talk for you, and she was like, now you're not helping me.
She's like, don't worry
Like,
about
no,
it. Yeah.
like you're not doing that. You're just here to support me. That's
Mhm.
it. They addressed again the situation with Wendy, obviously.
Wait, no, but I want before we get to that, I wanted to say that she discussed her IVF journey. What she the first attempt process that they had done, it failed. So right now, she said that she got some advice from Candiace and some of the other ladies, and they're moving forward with another IVF trial or whatever you call it.
Also, I just want to make sure because I believe in one of the episodes they were talking about because I know some people that went through IVF and they were telling me that there's like two different procedures. There's like the one where pretty much they take the sperm and they insert it near where it's supposed to go, and then it's supposed to do its job afterwards. It's supposed to
And
go
like
next.
attach, yeah.
Yeah, so there's that version, and then after that, there's the one where they literally, they take an egg and they fertilize it in the lab, and then they re-inject it. Well, multiple eggs, and then they re-inject it already fertilized. So also may not be using the right terms. I'm sorry. I know these words in French.
We're not doctors. We're
So
just
I believe
local
that
women.
they did the first version, if I'm not mistaken, which from the people I know that did it were saying that, it doesn't always work, which is why a lot of people move on to the next. So I don't know if that's what they're going to do, if they're going to, have everything done in the lab and then done.
Yeah.
But again, I wish I hope that they're able to,
Same. I even though I have my feelings about Nneka, I think they're a cute couple. I think her husband is a good guy. Um, yeah, I want good things for them, and I'm glad. And I'm glad that she's an example of generational wealth in the Black community. Like when she said my daddy was a rich bitch, and he made sure I was a rich bitch, and I was like,
but
period,
yes,
period.
listen.
Like I,
Also, can we talk about her husband's outfit?
oh yeah, because what is his name?
I don't know. Like every time, I'm like, I don't.
Wow, I can't. I'm
Like,
so sorry to that man. But you look good, sir. Your outfit was popping.
the outfit
Um,
was nice. I was like, okay.
Ike, it's Ike, right?
Yes. Yes.
Right, Ike, yes.
So,
And
yeah.
also, okay, so I have to talk about Andy trying to cover his ass here. Andy, right before they get into the whole Nneka and Wendy thing, and the comments that we just heard, the Osu and shrines and all of that. He's like, I just want to say that the producers and we didn't know about any of this storyline. Like, we wanted you guys to come on and like be friends. Like, we didn't know, and like he just tried to make it seem like the producers had nothing in
We didn't do it.
egging this on. And I just want to say, Andy, I see you because I don't believe nothing you just said. I don't believe that the
Was
producers.
like, make sure you address this, okay? This is what you said.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't believe the producers have any good intentions in mind. They're gonna egg on the mess. They probably was in Ashley's ear, and she's just the messy to do it. But yeah, he's
And,
Bravo, so he has to say that.
but also, it's like, when they address the situation and Wendy made sure to repeat to Ashley, like, I don't want to hear nothing else from you because you don't know the extent to which this is taboo in our community. Therefore, if you knew the extent, you would not even be, mentioning none of that. And I didn't really like Ashley's reaction to that because it's like, again, culturally speaking, she doesn't know, and it's okay. It's okay to not know certain things about certain culture. You can't know everything. But it's like when somebody brings to your attention multiple times how taboo it is, even if you don't understand, you have to also be like, okay, it looks like it's a big deal. I'm just gonna,
Well, Ashley doesn't have much sense in general. So,
like,
like,
you're
for
right.
her to comprehend that it was always going to be, even as Wendy was saying it to her, she was already preparing her. But that's not what I said. You could see it in her face. It was but I never said I never said I knew what it was. No, no, no. What she's saying is don't speak on it because you don't know what it is. Don't speak on it. Period. And
Yeah.
even Ike was like, because they were asking, so like I think Andy said, so what is those two? Like, like, and Ike was just like, it's taboo. It's taboo.
Yeah,
We don't
like, we
talk
don't talk
about it.
about this.
We don't talk about it. And it's like, um, I think it was either Nneka or Wendy who said, um, us sitting here, we don't even have enough knowledge to fully comfortably talk about it, even if we wanted to. So let's just kind of like take that off the table. Now, another thing I want to address with them too. First of all, they're not going to be friends. It's done. It's not getting fixed.
It's dead.
Um, Nneka says she knew Wendy. Wendy says she don't know Nneka. And the Housewives, they love to do this on all the franchises. I know you, you don't know me. You know me, girl. Like Phaedra and Nene. Phaedra swore down that Nene knew her. And Nene was like, I don't know you. No, Phaedra said, I don't know you. And Nene was like, yes, like my brother went to school with you. But Phaedra was like, yeah, but I don't know you. So that the word no is
Yeah, I was gonna say they're playing on words here.
they're playing on words. So
we know
Nneka's like, I've
what that
spoken
means.
to you a couple of times. We've met. Now we've met is different than no.
No, for sure. But it's like, you know, when you're like, oh, I know her, and like you would be like, but I don't know her like that, but like
Yeah.
I've seen her around. This is one of
I wish that's just what Wendy said. Like, okay, yes, I know her, like we've met, but I don't know her, like you said.
yeah,
Like,
it's fine. Because you can know of somebody, but you might not know the person like that on like a personal level, which is on scrap.
because in my opinion, what it seemed like it was even like I think Andy was alluding to it. It seemed a little shady. It seemed like, oh, I don't know her. Why is she asking about me? Like, it's like you could just say I've met her. Like, unless there was something that unless there was a reason why you didn't want her on the show, or like, I don't know.
For
So
sure.
yeah, Nneka, a little bit of behind the scenes tea about this stuff. Like, Nneka is allegedly not come back. So
I mean, that would make sense because it's like, again, like I was saying, it's like she arrived on the show and she was made the villain right away, which is why I don't believe that production didn't know. Like, they might not know what the issue at end is, they might not understand the cultural significance of it, but they knew that something was about to happen. So that's kind of sad to like.
Well, they set her up, child.
Yeah, that's kind of sad to just be the new cast, and also really, to be honest, if they're really going through another round of IVF and things like that, it's better she's not being stressed out by anything. Like, she probably needs to focus on that and whatever businesses and things that she's trying to do with her husband. Cause like, I mean, just saying.
I do want to quickly also just shout out Chris in general. I don't remember if like, we talked about it last video, but Chris has taken a lot from these ladies. Okay, last season it was a take down Chris season. Jazelle came on with her BS.
That's how I felt.
It's how she. I mean, again, I can't say that because it's not PC. It's not politically correct. I can't tell Jazelle how she felt, but whatever. And then, Ashley brought her Cookie Monster looking friend on season talking about. She looked like a Sesame Street character. Talking about, oh, he was being flirty, like he was looking at me at the bar. Like, everybody has something to say about Chris. Ashley was talking about Chris texted me late at night. That, what did this man do to y'all? Just trying to be.
Really don't like him, huh?
Like, he did nothing, and y'all just decided, Robin, I don't get what you say. You knew this was gonna take away from your philandering husband, and who is in these streets. You knew that, so you jumped on some of these bandwagons. Now, he came on there despite all these rumors against him, unlike Juan, who cannot face the reunion people.
And you know how they like to put Ron in the middle of conversations, like backstage conversation with the husband. Y'all see Ron?
Yeah.
Like,
the husband's like, yo, Juan, is he alive? Y'all seen him? Like,
ever seen him? Like, what? Does he exist?
Did we all make him up? Did we dream him up? What?
It's just funny at this point.
No, it's hilarious. But yeah, he came on there. He had smoke for everybody. You know, he represented himself well. He defended his wife well, I thought. And he didn't give Jazelle the moment she wanted, which I love. Huh?
Being petty. I love it.
Very petty. And then Robin tried it with the whole story of that girl, and she's like, oh, so the pictures were photoshopped. But Robin, hush. Worry about Juan's penis.
It's like, for me, what was interesting at that moment, you know, when they addressed afterwards, they addressed the fight, well, the almost fight, and
what almost fight
with his wife.
What almost fight?
Okay, so you don't remember how what's her name? Candiace always how Candiace always gets into trouble.
No, that was an actual fight.
Yeah, no, that's so you know how Candiace always gets into trouble because of her mouth.
Yeah.
And she was basically explaining and she cried again. She was saying, like, yeah, it was gonna be somebody was gonna come and fight me. I was by myself. So it was gonna be like I was gonna have to defend myself, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's Robin or somebody made a comment, and Chris was like, no, Jazelle made a comment, and Chris was like, no, Jazelle. She said that she felt threatened, like you felt
Right. Right.
away in your story. And I was like, Chris,
Yes, Chris ate. He ate with that. He really ate.
I
I was
love
like,
you.
damn,
Like,
Chris.
what?
Like,
Hmm.
I mess with you. The husbands that are sitting there, because there are some that aren't. Um, they're pretty. I'm trying to think if they're all good guys. Like, I think I mess with them. Like, Ray is always gonna be there. Like, he reminds me of Greg, like how Greg was for Nene. I was chiming in for Karen. He was ready to say where they lived in Potomac. Child, he said it's real Potomac. He said
Real Potomac. I don't know
thank
why I'm talking about North Potomac
I don't know. It's some bougie shit.
or whatever.
But Karen was like, "Thanks, babe." I was like, "Oh, that's so cute." I mean, it appears that
I mean, yeah.
these marriages are happy. We don't know, but okay. So since we did touch on it, let's talk about Kiarna coming out. The girl who we loved. I feel like they should invite her because I love the way she communicates. I love the way she expresses herself. I love this girl.
She's like so happy to be here. Pretty much, she was like super grateful and super like, oh my god. And that's like,
Yes, and
oh,
they brought her out.
this person on this show.
Huh?
Look at her being so like innocent and like lovely, and I'm like, this is who you're trying to work with. Like, okay,
Well, I mean, hey, she had to. She needs to secure the check. She she came out to discuss her time on the show and obviously that major fight that happened at the GNA event. Now, what happened at the fight was Big Bird came in and she was invited by Ashley because she's Ashley's friend. And this is Ashley's brand. Again, now she came in my opinion, in fighting clothes. That's just my opinion. People are like, no, it is a track workout line. So maybe she was just trying to support. I'm like, I don't know. She came in like it felt like she wanted smoke. Now, according to Candiace, this girl was like came up to her in her face like, yo, you have something to say to me. But my thing is like, why are you mad at Candiace when you're the one that said Candiace's husband was looking at you? Like, shouldn't she be mad at you? Like, I was confused. Like, you're mad. This is why I don't, and this is why I don't like when people start shit and they can't take the smoke. Like, when she came in and said that stuff last season, production clearly showed Chris not looking at her, not paying her any attention. So Candiace, yes, her mouth is lethal, and yes, she called her all types of Sesame Street characters. She called her, this lion ass bee type of all of this stuff. So now you come in on ready on go for Candiace. Why?
I feel like that's just an excuse. Like she used that as an excuse, but she had stuff that she wanted to, she probably wanted to do that for a long time, and she just needed an excuse to go. Even though they
a moment.
Even
she
though
wanted a moment, yeah. I think.
Even though the excuse didn't make sense, and like when Andy was like, "Candiace, do you think you would have fought her?" And she was like, "I don't know what would have happened." I'm like, she has a big mouth. I don't know if she can fight though. I'm just saying.
Candiace can't fight. She's been rocked. I mean,
like,
Monique rocked her world, and that will forever go down in history because Monique. Because again, this is what I'm gonna tell you right when you're right, and I'm gonna tell you wrong when you're wrong. Now, in that season, Candiace asked for it. She said, "You're not gonna hit me. Hit me then. Hit me." So Monique hit her. So,
well, here's the thing. They tried during that conversation. They tried to make Candiace understand that her mouth is what's getting her into trouble, and she really wasn't hearing. Like it's like they were all saying it, but like she wasn't hearing it at all. Like.
Yes, I hear you, and I
like watching it. It was very like I could tell they live in rich people neighborhoods because in a lot of other places in this world, she talks crazy like that about people, whether it's on Twitter or in real life. She's getting somebody slapping her. Let's be really honest. I'm not saying we need to be violent, guys. I am just saying.
Well, he's not saying we don't need to be violent.
Exactly. Okay. But
Don't
I'm just
menace YouTube. Uh,
no, but for more seriously, it was kind of like a bit awkward for like a quick minute just to watch that moment of all of them being like, no, but Candiace, what we're trying to say is that your mouth is getting you into trouble. And she wasn't hearing it at all.
so okay, here's my thing, because I do to a certain percentage hear what you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also, it felt like a gang up to me. And that preview clip came out before Sunday, and people were going off online on Jazelle because she blamed everybody except the people who were to blame. Now, here's my thing. Candiace's story here is that she didn't say anything to Deborah before this fight started, before she got into her face. She said, after she got into my face, then I started saying some stuff about her, because, like, why are you coming to act like you're going to fight? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wendy's not in this at all. Kierna gets involved because she gets physically assaulted on Deborah's warpath. So she gets involved and it becomes a fight between them. But Candiace's words are in the middle of this.
Yeah, of course.
Now, my thing was, Jazelle, where's the blame for Ashley? Where's the blame for Deborah? It was everybody's fault. Like Candiace, Wendy, and Kierna. Well,
I see what you're saying. No, I see what you're saying. It makes sense. It makes sense.
And that's where I wanted to slap the hell out of Jazelle for not knowing how to hold her friends accountable. Whether people want to make it a colorism issue or not, these are the people she considers her friends. And I'm just like, so they can't get no smoke? Because she's a big part of this already. Now, Candiace, this reunion, I have seen her take this much accountability. I think once where she apologized to Robin, and maybe that might have been the only time. But she also has taken a lot from this cast. And there are times like, if she reminds me of Kenya, where they're lethal word assassins and people respond to them in violence, or dragged. And the argument is always, does something I say warrant you to attack me physically?
So I understand that 100%, but this is what I would say. If you know anybody in like a work situation that has been like, harassment could be just words. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying what she was doing harassment again, but I'm just saying that there's a violence in words that is a psychological violence that is completely different than a physical violence. Mm-hmm. And in society and as humans, we tend to like minimize psychological violence, but psychological violence can actually do a lot of damage to somebody. I'm not saying that like,
no, but you are completely right. Like, and there's no, I don't think there's a wrong answer here. I think you're right.
You can't just assume that your words have no power and have no consequences.
And that's where Candiace goes wrong. She cries wolf a lot on that end. And it's like, Candiace, you say the most off the wall crazy shit, and you can't. And then also, you should be blamed for the sky being blue. No, you do get blamed a lot for things that have nothing to do with you. Wendy just being thrown in there was insane. Jazelle had to take that back. Like, you just naming people you don't like at this point. And
I feel you, but I'm just saying, for me, it's a question of, if you're a word assassin, like, if that's who you want to be, you need to be aware that there's people that won't go for words, they will go for fists. And it's unfortunate, but this is you don't know who you have in front of you. And that's also something that I feel like people need to remember, you don't know who you have in front of you. You don't know you don't know.
And so I will ask you this then. It just reminded me of something. Candiace has mentioned that she doesn't come with her lethal word assassination until somebody comes for her, until something is done to her. Mm-hmm. And if we're looking at the situation, the stuff that she has said on Deborah, that she was tweeting last, it was very mean. But Deborah came for her marriage first. Now, in that case, is it then all gloves off? Like, you said something like, why are you now mad that you got a response? You poked the bear.
oh no, now we're fight. It's just a fight. Somebody initiated it, you get a response. You know, it's like a ping
And I
pong game.
feel, but that's the thing. I feel like Candiace gets blamed a lot for like things where it's like people start with her and they just get mad because they can't keep up with her. But it's like she was in her corner dealing
I
with
mean,
Giselle's lying ass,
that
and
again,
then
that's also listen. It can be true, and so and when I say things about words is for anybody, not just Candiace. It's really like whatever it is that you start or that you respond to, just be prepared for whatever response you get. That's just it. Just be prepared. And unfortunately, sometimes that response is going to be violence.
yep,
Sometimes the response is let me send lawyers your way. You know,
yep.
I'm just
Some
saying.
people bring guns to nice fights. So okay, and then yeah, I just didn't like that.
No, I
That
feel
Giselle tried to blame them for solely for the
and
fight
then,
of her.
but I think also Jazelle is because I rewatched briefly part two before I started watching part three, and I think that goes back to the colorism conversation that they keep having, and they well not having because they're not really having that conversation. They keep talking about a
They're
topic,
just
but they
spouting accusations.
yeah they just don't talk about it because everybody's uncomfortable. But I just feel like Giselle was really just trying at this point because she felt the way about the prior conversation because Wendy did like basically say some stuff to the regards like to the likes of like you know the conversation never goes to why is it that you feel that there's colorism, why is it that you feel that I behave that way, can you please explain and can we have a conversation. The conversation always goes to pretty much I feel uncomfortable that you're calling me that you're saying that I partake in colorism. And she made a comparison to like you know white people being called racists and them being like I'm not a racist, I feel a way about you calling me a racist. So
Yeah,
that's
I'm gonna leave that where it is for now because yeah,
I was well for me I feel like Giselle was like from that I feel like it was not sitting right with her because everything Wendy said is super true, like I mean
yeah, and Giselle has, you could tell by her face she was salty.
yeah.
Um, I have nothing for you, girl. I have nothing for Giselle. I could care less. I do want to address briefly. We're gonna get into Ashley's segment, but I do want to address briefly. When Kierna was on, they discussed was Giselle being strategic when she on the trip when she asked when she went to check on Kierna when she was sick versus her actual friends on the trip. Wendy and Candiace didn't check on her. Me, y'all probably can guess how I feel. I feel Giselle was being strategic. I feel just because I feel like that's how her brain works. Like, ooh, like let me get another ally here. Let me just go because they're not checking on her. Oh, they left her. Let me like just it just that's just how I feel Giselle's brain works. But people may disagree. I don't think she cared about that girl's well being at all.
To be honest, I don't know. I don't know, and I don't know enough of her as a character except from like this season and like the past few things that I watched to know. But I will trust you on that. So like, yeah. Also, I don't really like her so far. Like, she's not one of my faves. You know the one I least like. But
Oh
Giselle is
yeah,
really just before Ashley. Like, I don't like Ashley, but Giselle is like. It's like I feel like the whatever they call themselves with green eyes or
the
blue
Green
eyes.
Eyed Bandits,
Yeah, I feel like
GB.
I don't like them like that.
Nobody likes the GEB. Um, but I will say this: Karen's fence riding is getting a little annoying to me. I'm just gonna need her to. I just feel like you can't. Sometimes you have to take a stance on what's wrong and what's right. And I know she keeps arguing that she's not going to take a stance, but it's getting annoying to me.
Like I feel like she's trying to play that role of like the matriarch, like I'm the oldest, I'm like the wisest, I'm trying to like, we all need to get along, ladies. Like I'm supporting everybody type vibe, like,
But I think it's a lie. I
that's
think
what I think she's playing that, but I don't think it's humanly feasible to actually be like, well, not to be like that, but it's just like there's a point in time where you lean in towards something.
I think if you listen to what Karen says, she is more lenient on Wendy and Candiace. However, she does not want to be alienated by Giselle. So she plays that, but she doesn't even like Robin. Like they've never liked each other. So she can't even pretend on that. Like, but anyways. Um then we go Ashley and Kierna had some words back and forth. I don't remember about what, but
Yeah.
it wasn't important. Then we talk about Ashley not getting a divorce. She very badly planned this divorce. She has nothing. She was traveling the world. She let Michael tell her not to do anything in her life, and then she listened, and then she went traveling with him. Saved no money. Didn't open no accounts. Has nothing in
I
her
know
name.
jewelry, no gold. Like what? No, because baffles me. It baffles me.
So you
It
telling me you were just sleeping with Michael Darby for free?
for free, for free, gratuit,
Massaging his feet.
for free. And it's the fact that even when the ladies were like, so we will still take care of you if something happens, and she was like,
She was like, I don't know.
like we'll take care of the kids, but me, no, I don't think so. And it's like for me, it's like 101 situation, regardless of if it's a sugar daddy or anything. 101 rule, and I guess maybe that's how I was raised. One, you need to be making your own money in some way, shape, or form. There needs to be some kind of income, some kind of something that comes in your account for your own work or for your own investment, from your own investment. Two, if you're with a man that gives you money, you take a portion of that and you invest it. If you cannot open a bank account because that will suspect or anything, invest in gold, buy gold jewelry. Gold is something that you can always,
yeah.
at some point. Invest in like real estate, buy an apartment somewhere,
I can't believe Ash. I cannot believe. Like it's unbelievable. Like considering the situation her mom is in with that toxic boyfriend, considering her father ain't never want to meet her, I can understand some des séquelles. I don't know how to say this in English, but you had Uncle Lump. I know Uncle Lump must have been giving you some good advice.
Uncle is fed up. He does not want to. He does not want to talk to her anymore.
He's so tired of her. He's like, yo, like, stand up.
It's like, you with me, like, please. It's like I be looking at this whole situation doesn't make no sense. Your prenup wasn't good. Your prenup ain't good. Do something about whatever it is that you can control. She didn't do nothing, and then she created the sportswear brand that
she literally was like, I got comfortable.
I got comfortable. How old is she? How old is she?
30-some, 35.
I'll be honest. So she's not watching the other franchise, A Real Housewife. She's not watching all these women that be dating like ball players and rappers and stuff. She doesn't know about all of this. Like
and women that are actually dating good looking rich men. So anyways, actually
there's a whole community out there online on the internet that will tell you how to finesse a man into giving you money and how to make sure you have money. I don't get it.
So she's stuck. She can't get a divorce. She's stuck. She's stuck for life.
No, she said she was getting. She was like, yeah, I'm getting a divorce or whatever, and I was just like,
I believe it when I see it.
When she said she massaged his feet, I was like, you stay in there. I'm like, what's gonna happen? But you.
And then Andy goes through each of the fighting people, like Candiace and Jazelle, and then I don't know, Wendy and Nneka, and basically there's no resolution to anything. And then we eat pie.
And they crowned Andy as well. They crowned
Andy the Duke of Potomac, which was cute.
It was so cute.
It was cute. And that was the end of the reunion and season. Thank God. Anyways, that was the reunion, but a little bit of some stuff that's happening behind the scenes. The internet was ablaze, with news that Robin is officially gone. Not only is she gone, she decided to tell us that she was fired. Now, a lot of times when housewives are off a show or they take a break or whatever, they will not explicitly say if they were fired or not. So it was interesting that she just claimed that. I guess it seems like she may have a little bit of a bitterness towards Bravo right now. But
But can we talk about the maybe why she got fired? Because I feel like they don't like the fact that she's selling information behind a paywall online when she should be having this information in the show that she's being paid for. I feel like they feel.
But why? My question is then, why did they let her on this season?
I feel like it probably, in terms of viewership, it was probably interesting to have,
because it had just they were like, well, we're gonna feed onto the ratings because people think that this story is gonna be addressed, which she didn't address. Nobody went in Robin's ass, which was one of the issues with this season, because y'all should come on episode 1 in Robin's ass, like, because it was like, nobody really, So I was, and Juan has no job, so he should have been in the line of fire. But
listen, it's like, I feel like that's probably why, because I'm guessing, I mean, I don't do TV contracts, but I've seen like entertainment contracts. You've seen entertainment contracts. We know what those kind of look like. And I don't see a network investing that much money into production and not feeling
selling stuff on your
about information being sold online and not being on the show, because then they don't have the exclusivity.
Like little information about your life, like your husband cheating on you.
I mean, that's what they signed up for. It's reality TV. They signed up for the fact that they're going to be sharing their whole lives on the internet. And the husband,
you think it's embarrassing, child? It's not like he hasn't cheated on you before. Like, I don't. Stop it.
Yeah, that's what everybody knows. Like, just you know.
So she's gone. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Allegedly,
Dong, the witch is dead.
Allegedly, Nneka is also not coming back. I addressed that earlier. Again, she didn't do what needed to be done, in my opinion, to get a second season.
No, she didn't, and I feel like she wasn't even allowed. I feel like the fight with Wendy was already that was dead.
But I mean, she also wasn't like Kierna came on. We saw in a few scenes. People already like her person.
Right.
Like,
she could have like, Nneka was get into people's hearts like that, and
she was rude. She was rude as hell to her husband, and she was just like pretentious for no reason. I get it, you're rich, but is there anything else? Like,
it's like, it's like we've seen our fair share of rude people, but I like rude people that have a little bit of to it.
If you're gonna be rude, do it like.
I'm gonna mention Jazelle Hernandez, the VH1 star player, the Puerto Rican princess. Okay, the woman. Okay, I'm sorry, she was
gold.
She was rude, but she did it in such a way. It was beautiful.
It was entertainment. At least make it likable. You know what I mean? Like,
everybody liked her.
And then also it was announced today. Candiace announced that she is pregnant, and is probably one of the reasons why she said she decided not to come back for the next season. So making it clear that she was not fired. She's taking a break, as she calls it. And I heard an interview with her and Chris where she was saying that the pregnancy was 95% the reason why she decided that, because a Housewives season could be stressful on a pregnancy for sure. And given that Candiace is very often the villain on that show, she would have taken a lot of stress.
Yeah, can you imagine her crying every 5 seconds on top with the hormones? No, I'm saying it's a lot.
It's just
no, because she really would have. I think it would have been worse. She would have just cried all the time, and
Candiace be crying.
Yeah, be lying. I feel like I'm just saying, it's like, yeah, it's a lot of stress, and also hopefully, like, she eases up on the tour life as well, because she was touring quite a lot. And I know
you can go ahead and stop touring, sis.
Yeah, they even addressed the situation with Drew Sidora real quick.
Apparently, she don't like the way Drew do business, but a lot of people have problems with Drew, man. Drew, what were you out here doing?
The way I like Drew, and the only reason why I like Drew is from the game.
She stole. Why would you like her?
I just like her from the game. I don't know. I like her little face. She's cute. She's beautiful. Like,
you're the toxic one, aren't you?
Like, no, I didn't like her as her character in the show. I'm saying I like her. I think she's cute. I didn't like her, but I also.
If you had seen her Atlanta
med school, so
yeah. If you have seen her Atlanta seasons, you would because she's not coming back on this new season, but she's been on Atlanta for the last 3 seasons, and
You know what, guys?
she was something.
We're gonna go to Atlanta. Like, we're gonna review Atlanta. We're also gonna go to Atlanta because why not?
That was
Um,
great.
but yeah, guys, listen, this season and
Do we
as
have a real villain stuff? No.
oh my god, for this specific part of the reunion,
Or do we like? Does that not make sense? I don't know.
I mean, we could.
It's still Ashley, so
Yes, Ashley. It is always gonna be Ashley.
it's always gonna be Ashley.
Always,
And
always,
she's
always,
like,
always.
out of everybody that was falling off, Candiace is leaving, Robin is gone, Nneka's gone, and Ashley survived this. Jazelle survived this. I have to see. Come on now.
So my thing is, what are they gonna like? Who are they gonna replace them with next season? I mean, I don't know Potomac like that, so I wouldn't know who. But
If they bring back Katie Ross from season 1, girl, people have been asking for her, but she's too. The drugs got my girl too gone.
I'm
Don't
definitely
bring don't bring Charisse. Bring Kierna on as full-time cast. I want to see Kierna link up with Wendy because Wendy's gonna need somebody against Jazelle and Ashley, and Karen's just gonna be somewhere in the middle. And Mia, well, I don't. Mia's gonna try and I don't know.
I just need Wendy's show to like blow up. I needed to go crazy so that whenever the ladies start talking crazy, she just be like, "What are you doing with your life?" Like, because I have a, because
I actually think Mia and Wendy should join forces. I know Mia threw a drink in her face, and I know sometimes there's no coming back from that. However, y'all were showing each other's coochies afterwards, so it's not that deep. I want Mia and Wendy to link up,
okay.
and I could see this as a good. And this gonna sound crazy, but it could mend the whole colorism thing because people are always seeing like they're looking at two separate teams. There's like it's like the Wendy and Candiace team, and then it's like the Jazelle and Robin team. But it's like, hey, Wendy is a darker complexion and Mia is a lighter complexion. We can all get along. Just Pepsi commercial this shit out.
Also, I like Mia. I like her because for me, she's not that problematic.
She's not. She's just.
So
She's just. She's openly toxic. Like she
I feel
just.
like she's more human than the others.
Yeah, because she just does her stuff. Like she came on the show, told us every surgery she's had. Like
Yep.
when usually the housewives are just.
And she was just like, I did this, and I'm like, yes, okay.
Listen, and go ahead, and had just had her vagina tightened or something.
Listen something. If I had the money, and if a lot of people had the money, a lot of us would be doing surgery. Maybe not as much as she's done, but a lot of us, if we're being really honest,
yeah,
a lot of us will fix a little something, whether it's like for the men, sometimes the hair, something.
Oh, them hair implants go crazy. Them hair implants are going crazy.
You go to Turkey real quick, and they do it for you. So, listen.
But yeah, guys, that's kind of it. But we have more videos coming up. We're excited that we have a lot more reviews coming up. And if there's anything you want to see us review, definitely put it down in the comments. Can we tell them what's next or no?
Yeah, we can tell them what's next. We can definitely.
So next video, if you guys should already watch it so you can watch a review. It's a popular show on Netflix called 3-Body Problem, and if you haven't heard of it, definitely recommend that you guys check it out because we're gonna get into all the nitty gritty of that show on the next review. So, and we got a bunch of other stuff coming up.
For sure. Also, watch the previous videos too. They're pretty fun.
Yes, watch the previous videos.
And follow us on TikTok because we do have a TikTok now.
And it is?
I feel such I am millennial in the way I said that. But yeah.
What is the handle of our TikTok?
Emmy and Nicky for some reason already exists. I was like, that's okay.
That's strange.
But yeah, it's Emmy and Nicky. We'll put it in the description anyways for you guys. And yeah.
All right. See you guys next time.